4, 3.
Coming up on #that, we're back after spring break with a lot to talk about.
We have stories on everything from St. Patrick's Day to Ed Sheeran and much more. We are your source for Quinnipiac entertainment news.
Welcome to #that. I'm Brooke Riley.
And I'm Cullen Ronan. On the Wednesday prior to spring break, students had the opportunity to shave their heads in order to raise money to help put an end to childhood cancer. The St. Baldrick's Foundation held their annual fundraiser in the Burt Concourt, and students from all across campus came to donate not only their time, but their hair in order to help raise awareness for the cause. Quinnipiac students tallied $12,219 total, surpassing the initial goal of an even $12,000. Quinnipiac's top-earning team, Sigma Phi Epsilon, brought in just over $3,000 on their own. If you missed out on this year's event, you can join the other participants in hoping to make 2018 an even more successful year for the St. Baldrick's Foundation. Jack Sedian, a junior here at Quinnipiac University, was one of many to participate. Let's see what he had to say about the event.
This is actually my first time. I haven't done this before. I haven't had my head shaved this short before either. So, well, my mom had cancer a while back, and I wanted to support cancer in the first place. So I've always thought, what would it be like to get your head shaved or lose your hair? So I don't know, it kind of means something to her, I think. So through Mike Bonavita and the fraternity, he was trying to raise $1,250, and I just said 2 days ago, I just said, hey, why not, and participate. I think it's too early to decide yet. I haven't even seen myself, so we'll see. I mean, once the snow comes around, that's when I'll know.
Last Friday was a big day for the Irish, St. Patrick's Day. The annual parade took place in New York City. Quinnipiac is one of the sponsors of the big parade. We had several commercials throughout the parade that aired on television. Students and alumni marched in the parade along with President Leahy. Many bands and groups from across America marched as well. The bagpipes rang down the streets of the Big Apple as this holiday was celebrated. While we are on break, the entertainment world definitely wasn't. Hannah Cotter has the latest celebrity update with this week's highs and lows. Hannah?
Hey guys, there's been a lot of crazy news going on both on campus and in the social media world, so here are this week's highs and lows. A major high for Quinnipiac students. After defeating number 4 Miami last night, the women's basketball team will advance to the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament. Morgan Manns led the Bobcats with 22 points and 6 3-pointers, and Aaron McClure followed with 15 points. This is the program's first Sweet 16 berth in history. More good news this week. Drake recently dropped More Life, a playlist nuanced with 22 new songs. Unlike a standard album, which has more of a structured narrative with bits of creativity thrust in randomly, the playlist is a river of moods and has more of a flow to it. More Life features multiple artists and highlights various types of music, from house music to Nigerian Afrobeats. In other news, Apple just announced its release of a special edition red iPhone 7 and 7 Plus with vibrant red aluminum finish. With each purchase, the Apple Store contributes to the Red HIV/AIDS program. Apart from the color change, it's still the same iPhone. And now for the lows of this week. Rock and roll pioneer Chuck Berry passed away last Saturday. The 90-year-old Johnny B. Good singer died in his home in St. Louis, but had reportedly been working on a comeback album for 2017. Taxes on imported cars in China are increasing trading tension between China and the United States. American officials believe China's increased charges on foreign cars are becoming a prevalent issue. Donald Trump will be meeting with his Chinese counterpart in Florida next month to discuss it, along with other things. Also, President Donald Trump released a partial outline of his 2018 budget plan. What he claims is, quote, one of the largest increases in national defense spending in American history, will cut funds for the State Department, UN programs, foreign aid, and the Environmental Protection Agency, and basically anything related to climate change. That's all I have for this week's highs and lows. Back to you guys.
So, Cullen, there's been a lot of buzz on campus about the housing options. What do you think?
You know, it's tough every year. Housing, honestly, kind of ruins relationships here at campus because sometimes you gotta kick people out of your room, sometimes you gotta add people in the room. It's really tough. I don't know how the changes are gonna work out, but anything to fix what we had before. I know you're a freshman, so you don't know very well.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. What number did you get?
My number was in the 800s, so I absolutely bring nothing to the table. But some of the roommates I had we got a pretty high number. We're in the 60s. So
that's good.
Being an upcoming junior, we're hoping for the best, hoping to get Crescent. So
yeah, I got 394, so it's not that great. Our best in our room was 335, so Village isn't looking too good, but we'll see what happens.
I lived in Larson my freshman year, and a lot of people with that number always end up in Troop or all those buildings that are like the same as Larson.
Yeah,
and
I
honestly,
know Troop, they changed to freshmen for next year.
Yes, that is true.
So our only option's Pro Roth for that.
Perroth, yeah, Perroth as well. But that's the suite style living is really fun.
Yeah,
It's a really great experience to
definitely.
get know your roommates even better, and especially if you lived in that freshman year, it's an easy transition.
Yeah. And I heard they changed it to times also instead of just numbers.
And honestly, that might help too, because it's a lot of cluster
Yeah.
at one time, and honestly, being able to kind of clock in at different times to do it might help. Who knows? I just
Yeah.
appreciate the fact that they're changing it and trying to help the students
Yeah,
as
I
much
guess
as they
we'll
can.
see what happens.
Guess we will. After the commercial break, we'll be debating some of the best music that was recently released.
Stay with us.
All this and more.
Coming up on the Q30 Newscast.
Coming up on Bobcat Breakdown.
Coming up on Bobcat Breakdown.
And welcome into Studio 125.
So what?
40
So what?
points. If you score 40 points in a basketball game, we all know you play Quinnipiac Intramurals. We all know you love to shoot the rock.
Well, if you think that's the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard, what I'm about to say, I guess, is going to be pretty ridiculous in your book. But I'm going to say, yes, there is a controversy.
Line, getting ready to punch the ball as it lands right in front of another Monmouth player.
Hello, Quinnipiac hockey fans, and welcome to the Neutral Zone.
Definitely St. Lawrence, and I think you're going to see the test coming up real soon.
They might be having a bit of an adjustment issue without that CBS line, but don't count them out.
At High Point Solutions Arena in Game 2 of Quinnipiac vs. Northeastern Series.
Thanks for sticking with us. Many Quinnipiac students went to warm places for this spring break. Ryan Ansel traveled to San Francisco and is showing us some of the best places to see and eat around the city.
Let's take a look.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Ryan here. I'm in Golden Gate Park. Really cool place right here because it's so quiet. All you can really hear are the birds chirping and some animals brushing in the leaves. But then 2 minutes right when you leave this park, it's a whole big city. And it's a bunch of different people coming together and thriving together. And that's what San Francisco is really about. We're about to head over to the Castro. So I'm at the Castro right now, and the Castro is one of the first gay neighborhoods in the United States. And here you're gonna see a lot of rainbow flags, you're gonna see a lot of really cool stuff, and they have great food and coffee. So we're at Phil's Coffee right now, getting a nice cup of coffee. Park in San Francisco. You have people from all different kinds of ethnicities, backgrounds, nationalities coming together and just having a good time. You got people playing soccer in the background. You got people playing frisbee. It's a really beautiful place in this town, and it's always popping every single day.
This week, Ashley is here with the latest trending topics on Twitter. Ashley?
Thanks, guys.
Hashtag YouTube's Over Party was trending all over Twitter Sunday night after YouTube announced its new setting, Restricted Mode. This policy intends to hide inappropriate content that is flagged by users and other signals. However, the feature has in fact been hiding content related to homosexuality, whether or not there's any sexual or inappropriate content. People are outraged by this discriminatory policy, so much so that they are tweeting examples of videos that they find should be restricted versus videos that they feel have been unfairly blocked. On a lighter note, yesterday was hashtag InternationalHappiness Day. While the normal Monday trend tends to be wishing the weekend could last longer, Twitter was instead filled with supportive tweets where people shared the quotes, things, and people who made them happy. This trend came at the same time the World Happiness Report was released, with Norway in first place. Spring break may be over, but if you're looking for another reason to travel, we recommend traveling to the happiest place on earth. Happiness continued to be a trending topic this week, with Monday also being the first day of spring. People used the hashtag to post pictures of flowers blooming and cute animals. Some people, however, weren't so thrilled about the changing season. Spring may signify winter is coming to an end, but it also brings allergies. For those of you who aren't too thrilled for the spring, I recommend buying Claritin from the bookstore. You won't want to miss the view of the campus when everything's in bloom. That's all for trending topics this week. Now back to Brooke and Kyle.
Ed Sheeran's new album, Divide, was released on March 3rd. The album showcases Ed Sheeran's wide range of talent. It shows off a little bit of a hip-hop side to even a bit of an Irish twist with songs like Galloway Girl. He also showed off his pop side, of course. Overall, this album has gotten great feedback. His tour tickets have been released and are already selling quickly.
Bruno Mars' latest album, 24 Karat Magic, was released back on November 18th. This is his third studio album of contemporary R&B music. Popular songs in this album include 24 Karat Magic and That's What I Like. According to Billboard, Bruno Mars has paid tributes to many other popular artists of his era since he emerged. This was certainly continued to stay true with his latest album. So, Brooke, out of all the albums that were released recently, which one is your favorite?
I think my favorite has got to be the Ed Sheeran one. I'm a big Ed Sheeran fan ever since he toured back with Taylor Swift.
It's tough for me to say because I don't dislike Ed Sheeran at all. I think he has a beautiful voice. But the rapping thing, I don't like it. I never have. I gave it a shot. I listened to the album, but it just wasn't my thing. And Bruno Mars has a fantastic voice. I'm a big R&B guy, so I really enjoyed his record.
Yeah, Bruno Mars definitely has some good songs out there. He's had great music in the past also, so I definitely agree.
Not a bad album of the mix, but I definitely would prefer the Bruno Mars one over Ed Sheeran. Although I gave it a whole listen, I enjoyed the album. It just wasn't as good as Bruno Mars's.
Yeah, there were a few songs that weren't as great as others on the Ed Sheeran album, but there was definitely a few that you could really stick with, relate to topics in today's world also that I really enjoyed.
And let's see the results of the. See what others. See if anyone agreed with us.
Yeah.
Okay, Ed Sheeran. So you got the win on that one.
That is also the most recent one, though.
That is true. Bruno Mars taking in 10%, so I wasn't even close to being correct.
Ed Sheeran's in everybody's heads right now.
Drake also dropped an album, which kind of sneaky. No one knew about it, but also a good piece of music.
Yeah,
so,
he's okay.
A lot of good stuff coming out in the music world right now.
Yeah, definitely. QU students traveled all over the place this spring break, so we asked Q30 members where they spent their week off. Let's see in this week's selfie video.
What's up, hashtag Kyle here, back at the Big Q from spring break, an awesome vacation. I went to St. Lawrence to cover the men's hockey team as they beat St. Lawrence in a 3-game series. So that was a lot of fun. And then I went to Orlando with my family, visited Universal for the first time, got this sweet Gryffindor shirt at the Harry Potter Resort. A lot of fun. Definitely go there if you've never been.
Hey, hashtag Paul here. I had a pretty crappy spring break. I had to get an emergency root canal replacement, which was pretty bad. Shoveled a lot of ice. My doctor cut up my ear when she was trying to clean it, so that clogged it for a while. Wasn't good. And all my friends' spring breaks were the week before, so I was bored the whole week.
Hey, hashtag, I'm Chrislyn. Over break, I just kind of went home to New Jersey and hung out with my parents. I know it sounds pretty lame, but I was pretty happy to have a relaxing week off to just hang out. So that's what I did. Bye.
Hey, hashtag, I hope you enjoyed your spring break. As for my spring break, I was here on campus doing Quinnipiac live events. Very fun. Was Facebook live streamed to the entire Quinnipiac community and beyond on their Facebook page, and I'm really famous now, so I'm really happy.
Well, that is all the time we have left. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at #thatQU.
And watch this episode and others at Q30television.com. Thanks for watching.